Hi there, my name is Liz Hathway and I'm making a second vlog. I can't believe it, in 1 week. But events in the UK it's just so gripping at the moment, I couldn't resist it. I don't know if many of you were watching the news this morning when Theresa May came out in front of Downing Street and gave her response to the leadership challenge, the knowledge that 48 or maybe more of her colleagues have signed a vote of no confidence in her. It's really interesting chart because I have a little app on my phone, so I was watching it. When she started speaking, it was at 8:48 in the morning and 29 degrees 50 Sag was rising. So, it was just Sagittarius. So she was just having that moment, that Jupiterian moment. And then the ascendant, she'd only probably just sort of starting her opening statement, and the ascendant changed into Capricorn, and we saw Saturn in the first house there, this very serious, very grounded, very committed, very I'm going to do the right thing, and anyone now who is putting creating problems for me and stopping me getting around the business of the day, basically, these people are self-serving and they're not serving the country. She was very much, playing the role of this very dignified Saturn. Venus was on the midheaven in Scorpio, so this image of her is almost being battered and ground down, almost like she's really, Scorpio is Mars ruled, so there's always that martial element, and there was that feeling that she's been battling her way through against all odds to deliver the deal. It's unbelievable. And then we see, okay, so we've got this, she's just getting into her speech, the ascendant changes into Capricorn, okay? And she is the protagonist here. She's the person who's standing in front of the Houses of Parliament, initiating now, this, her response to this challenge. She's going to fight to the bitter end. Don't forget, Theresa May has Saturn in the very end of, let me get this right, she has Saturn in Scorpio, square in Pluto in the last degrees of Leo. So that's a really sort of, the last stand almost for these two giant planets, in fixed signs. So yeah, when she says she'll fight to the bitter end, you can kind of get a feeling she will, but whether that's ultimately a good thing for the country remains to be seen, right? I mean, but she's certainly got that kind of power, or that image of power, although personally I think that really very much depends on the situation she's in, because she can also prove herself to be really weak, as for example, when we had the Grenfell fire and she completely, just didn't go and meet any of the people affected, that really scared her. And, then she, you get to see the other side of that Saturn-Pluto square, where she's either extremely strong, or there's this, what we saw, for example, when she withdrew the vote on Tuesday. And I've often said, she's got Mars in Pisces as well, Theresa May, and it's the duck and dive sort of energy of Pisces. Sometimes avoid the confrontation. Oh, I don't want to see that. I'll just nick in here, and sort of lie low for a minute. So she's definitely got that sort of Mars in Pisces thing going on. But back to the charts this morning. So, the opposition to her you would see coming from the 7th house. And it's interesting, that Mercury is right there at the end of Scorpio, 29 degrees 30 Scorpio actually. So that's right with her Saturn, so she can really, sort of, that Saturn energy, she's voicing it really. Mercury's on her Saturn this morning. So yeah, Mercury is going to change sign. And where's it going? It's going into Sagittarius. So Mercury likes Jupiter, likes Sagittarius. And when the signs change, we've got Capricorn rising, and the moon, then rules the 7th, the opposition. And that moon, where is it? It's in her house. It's in Aquarius. It's Saturn ruled. So from one perspective, it's very difficult to really imagine the PM now losing this this vote, you know, of no confidence, and who's going to take her place. I mean, she's really got the country over a barrel in a way. You know, she's left things to the, you know, the last hour almost. And yeah, she's got, I think, the country over a barrel. So anyway, some time ago, well, way back in 2016, I wrote a series of 3 articles on the Brexit vote. And one of the things I mentioned there was what I call the axis of Europe, particularly for the EU, which is the 12 to 17 degrees of the mutables. And it's interesting, really, that we have right now, you know, Mars in Pisces and Neptune in 30. Well, Neptune is 1345 Pisces, Mars is 1651. So they're both in there, squaring UK Mercury, which is ruler of the 9th house, which is trade with foreign countries. Mercury is the natural ruler of trade. 9th house is foreign countries. But of course, Mercury is also ruler of our 12th house. So yeah, the same energy that drove us into Brexit, you know, which was, remember, that mutable T square with Jupiter, Neptune and Saturn. And it was those degrees, again, you know, that 12 to 17 degrees, particularly of Gemini Sag, which was firing up UK Mercury. Because Mercury in Sag, it talks a lot. You know, it has a lot to say for itself. You know, it's got a big mouth in many ways. And this endless talking that we're seeing at the moment, this chaos in a way, which, you know, is not over yet, because Neptune in Pisces hasn't even started to sort of square into Mercury. So my guess on it this afternoon is that she will stand, that she will stay. But I mean, she is seriously undermined, and what we're actually really seeing, I think, is a sort of kind of a civil war within inside the Conservative Party itself. Anyway, just some thoughts on what happened this morning. It's going to be exciting this evening, that vote there, around 6 to 8 UK time. And this, I think, what we're seeing here is one of the ways that Saturn, Pluto in square can force an issue. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.